Okay, everyone, welcome to our booth at the State Fair. It's great to have all of you. The weather's holding off. We have some wonderful guests here today that I want to introduce in a minute, but I just wanted to let you know that we have a great location here, just where our politician wants to be, right, Aaron Peterson, our state rep, by the pork chop on a stick and the snake zoo. We also, of course, are right across the street from the butter carving contest. We've been working hard to make sure Minnesota is up front and center in Washington. I'm humbled to be your senator. Of course, this last month, our work has been dominated by making sure we get that funding for the bridge. I was proud that we were able to go there in a bipartisan way and get $250 million to help rebuild the bridge in 60 hours. We're now working on the floods in southeastern Minnesota, where so many people are out of a home and don't have a car, and so we're working with them to make sure they get the relief that they need. We've been working hard to change course in Iraq. When we come back in September, we're going to vote to start bringing our combat troops home. I think that's something we need to do. I don't think that we can keep on the course that we're on. Now, I will tell you that I visited Iraq in March, and I saw firsthand the bravery of our troops. They didn't complain, our Minnesota National Guard, about the weather. They didn't complain about their equipment. They didn't complain about their tour extensions. They asked me two things. One, what was the score of the state high school hockey tournament? But the other was, would I call their moms and dads when I come home and tell them they were okay? And I talked to over 50 moms, and I can tell you that there are some very hard situations there with families left behind, with tours extended. And I came back from that trip while so appreciative of their work and want to make sure they get the veterans benefits they deserve, knowing that we need to start handing over authority to the Iraqi government, that we need to tell them we're not staying there indefinitely. Now, we're here today to talk a little bit about the energy challenge. This is something we're doing with our booth. We'd like you all to sign up. I'm on the Ag Committee and also on the Environment and Public Works Committee. And we're going to be working on climate change legislation this fall. And this really came out of what I've been hearing around our state. You know, hunters in Hibbing that realize the wetlands are changing. Ski resort owners. Do you like our location with all the music? Ski resort owners up in northern Minnesota who are losing money because there's not enough snow, kids with penguin buttons on, people all over the state that have seen the effects of global warming. I visited Greenland. I've got our great explorer, Will Steger, up here. But I saw firsthand how the ice was running off like spigots off these enormous icebergs in Greenland. It's the canary in the coal mine for climate change, and we need to start to get to work on it. And this is not just about the environment, it's also about saving money in our homes. Well, I can tell you after 7 months at the Senate, seeing how you can move legislation, how you can get $250 million for a bridge when it falls down in the middle of America, I too remain an optimist. But I mostly remain an optimist because of all of you. I'm humbled to represent you, and I remain an optimist because you're willing to stand here and listen to me instead of going over to the bungee jump. So you too must believe that we can get things done in Washington. Thank you very much for taking the time. Will Steger, a great explorer, and I'm just so honored to have him here at our booth. Will, do you want to say a few words?
I first want to thank Amy for taking the leadership role in Washington on global warming issues and climate issues. And this is nothing new to Amy. I worked with Amy over 10 years ago with Paul Wellstone on the blue-green movement. This was the early movement to get some traction in global warming, and many neighborhood events that we did over the years. And we're really proud to have Amy in there representing us. I've come as an eyewitness to global warming, traveled in the polar areas where the scientists told us 15 years ago this is where we would see the first signs of global warming, and all the ice shelves that have traveled on have collapsed into the ocean. The ice on the Arctic Ocean is starting to go in the summertime, so this is a very serious issue, but there's a silver lining on this. We have the technology for this, and Minnesota is in a great position to profit from this, from wind energy, ethanol, and our technology. So, and also I have to say this is a bipartisan issue. The governor passed some of the strongest climate policy, stronger than California here, along with both the Democratic and Republicans in the our local House and Senate. So good news on that end. But I more than anything want to thank Amy for taking the leadership. We really need this in Washington here to wake people up.
Okay, thank you everybody. We'll be over here to meet you. Thanks.